And we are live. Welcome everybody. How you guys doing? Can everybody see me? Can everybody hear me? Are we good? Okay. Looks like we are good. So, already got 75 people in here. We've been live for about 5 minutes now, so let's go ahead and get this show on the road. All right, so we got to talk about this game tonight. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot good to talk about from this one. Seahawks lose 27 to 11. Kind of a weird game. Not a lot to be happy about. Sloppy. A lot of sloppiness. Hey, Tackman, what's up? Positives for me, just trying to find some positive things. I think that the offensive line played good in pass protection when they were actually able to get past the snap. I think that the defense was pretty good getting pressure on the opposing quarterback is when their key guys were in. Guys like Taylor, Nwosu, Mafe. Nwosu in particular, I thought had a really good game. He had like maybe 4 or 5 QB pressures. And that's most of it. I'm going to continue to say I don't understand where all the Geno hate comes from after this game. I thought that Geno played okay. Not the best. I know he's limited. I'm not talking about that stuff, but for who Geno is, I thought that Geno played okay. There's not a whole lot he can do when his receivers keep dropping passes. When he converts a third down and then Gabe Jackson commits a hands to the face penalty. So I think he was fine. And that's really where it stops, unfortunately. The negatives here are pretty obvious. Our receivers could not catch. We probably had 10 drops tonight. 9 or 10 drops, I would say. DJ Dallas, Tariq Young had at least 1, maybe 2. Bo Melton had 2 or 3. JJ Arcega-Whiteside had 1. I'm probably forgetting about a couple of the drops we had, but we had a ton of drops. So the good news is most of the drops were committed by players who are not going to play or are going to play very little when the season starts. So that's at the very least something to hang your hat on as we're trying to find silver linings here. As much as I thought the offensive line played okay when it came to blocking, they were not good pre-snap. Charles Cross committed 5 penalties in this game. Hopefully it'll be a big-time learning experience for him. So I'm glad it happens now and not in the regular season, but you see where he does have stuff to work on. And look, 5 penalties in one game by a player, that shouldn't be happening for pretty much anybody ever. Now, again, preseason, da-da-da, but it shows you where he has stuff to work on. The run blocking was not as good as it was against Pittsburgh for sure. It wasn't necessarily bad, but I didn't think it was very dominant the way that it was against Pittsburgh. Jacob Eason, he had some nice throws, but he also had some throws where you just don't know where the ball's going sometimes. It's like trying to shoot it's like trying to shoot a Gatling gun when you weigh 60 pounds. You don't know where those bullets are going. So, defensively, it's just all about the tackling for me. Defensively, the tackling's just bad. I thought we got pretty good pressure. I thought we were doing a pretty good job getting to the ball carrier early on most plays, but you got to tackle because that'll undo all the good stuff you do in other areas. Like our coverage today was, at least most of the time, pretty good. Kobe had a good game. Tariq played pretty well. Michael Jackson, he made some bad plays, but I thought he made up for it. He made some really nice plays out there. Josh Jones looked good. So there are some positives there, but Blair's got to tackle. Dublanco's got to. Well, Dublanco doesn't need to learn how to tackle. Dublanco needs to get the heck out of here. I am. I said I wanted to see what he could do, and I've seen what he can do, and it's not good. And special teams were absolutely atrocious. Special teams, that was the worst special teams game I've seen from this team in a very long time. So Terrible returning kicks. Swain doesn't need to be doing it anymore. Cade Johnson with the punt return fumble. He's a guy who's been talked up lately, and then he does that. Two long returns by the Bears, multiple penalties on our special teams, a missed field goal. So I don't have a lot positive to say, really. The stuff we did that was good was easily overshadowed. I will say this, though. I will say one thing. Damian Lewis is supposedly fine. And that news is so good, it's made me forget about most of the crap in this game. So I'm not even that upset about what happened in a lot of this game because I'm so relieved because I thought Damian Lewis was out for the year. I thought that he was done. Dunzo bunzo. I had already mentally moved on about the possibility of him playing this year. And then we hear he'll be okay. It's going to be a little bit of time. So, hey, there's some good news for you. But overall, I think the biggest problem coming out of this game is just the sloppiness and the lack of discipline. Justin Coleman stands on the goal line, not at the goal line, on the goal line to down a punt, looks down like he's stoned and realizes, oh crap, I'm standing on the goal line. That's something you would see in a Will Ferrell movie. And then he's laughing about it. Like, does he not realize he's probably playing for his job? Does he not realize if he does not start doing something positive, he's not going to be here in the fall? Like, yeah, I don't like that at all. There's a guy who can go. Honestly, he also got beat on a third down as a nickel corner. I saw Kobe play a little nickel corner today, and it seemed better. That basically runs down my initial thoughts on this game. I go into a little further detail in the post-game video I made. But now we're going to start taking a look at chat. So we're going to stream for about an hour here. I'm going to try to keep it short because it's late, and I know some people need to get to bed. And I want to jump on Twitch later and play with my friend because he's on tonight. But we're going to go for about an hour. We're going to talk about this game. Do not spam chat. I don't care if you have a question you really want me to answer. Do not spam chat with you trying to get my attention. I'm going to answer as many comments as I can. I probably won't be able to get to all of them because, quite frankly, there are going to be a lot of them, and I'm going to do my best to keep up. But probably not going to get to all of them. If you have a comment and I don't see it, you can try it again in a few minutes, or you can super chat it, and then I'm guaranteed to see it. As you can see, if you look to our left, we have a sub goal. We are now 11 subs short, so we are almost there. We might get there tonight. We need one more member to get back to 100. We're back to number 99, and we have our super chat goal and our tip goal, both at $25. JAVFX, thank you for the $2 or $1.56 super chat. Eason played better than Gino. I don't know. Eason's wild. Eason made some plays, but his balls just go everywhere, man. He sprays them like a 12-year-old playing Call of Duty. You don't know where those bullets are going. But anyway, yeah, if you super chat your comment in, it's guaranteed to be seen, addressed, read, whatever. If you tip it, same thing. If you want to tip, click the link in the description. It's actually a better way to support me than super chatting because less of the money gets taken. And yeah, we also click the join button down below to become a member. Please like the stream if you haven't already. We got over 160 people in here right now. Please like if you haven't already done so. All right. So. Let's take a look here. Gardner Minshew is better than Gino and Drew Lock. Why don't we give up a late round pick and trade for Minshew? I don't think the Eagles would do that. Well, I've talked about this before, CAFT, but I think the Eagles like Minshew. I don't think they're trading him for anything less than like a third rounder, and I'm not giving up a third rounder for him at all. Haru Bricks, welcome to the membership club, buddy. Appreciate it. Member number 100. Let's go. All right. So that'll allow me to play with the emojis a little bit. Jesse Lund, thank you for the $2. Didn't see the game. Can you break down O-line play? The O-line, when the play actually was running, was good in pass protection. I thought their pass protection was on point. Run blocking was, sometimes it was good, sometimes it wasn't. However, Charles Cross had 4 false starts and a holding. And that doesn't need to be happening. So he's got some stuff to work on. Abe Lucas played well, but he did give up a late sack. I think it was like late third quarter, if I recall correctly. So he finally gave up a sack, but overall, I still think he played pretty good. Stone Forsythe got pushed around a little bit. Curhan didn't play great. So mixed bag on that front. I'm encouraged by some things, but disappointed in some others. Austin Roberts, so happy about Lewis news. Yeah, to me, look, this game sucked. There's no doubt about it. And I'm not going to say it's all meaningless just because it's preseason. It's not. But Damian Lewis being okay and possibly even being able to play week one is a massive relief. Benjamin Jarvis. Geno Smith is fine once he's out there with ones out there and not 10 drop balls, right? That's kind of how I feel. Look, okay. I don't know if I'm getting gaslit right now. I don't know if I'm taking crazy pills. I didn't think Geno played bad at all. He didn't play great. Maybe he didn't even play good. But what's he going to do? 3 dropped passes when he was on the field that I can remember. 3 dropped passes, maybe 4. And then you had the third down conversion where Gabe Jackson's committing hands to the face. Yes, I know he's limited. But everybody knows these things. Everybody knows that Geno Smith is limited in his ability to like read a defense, throw receivers open. Of course he's limited in these areas. But for what Geno Smith is, I don't think he did anything today that's going to suddenly make Pete go, you know what? He's not the guy. I don't see it. I don't see it. So I have to be perfectly honest. I'm not saying Geno played a great game or anything like that. I don't think he did anything to change people's minds. Now, I will say this. I hope it does. I hope it does. I do. Because I want Drew Lock to play. Maybe you could talk me into wanting Geno to play week one. Drew Lock might be too amped up for that game, maybe. But um, I don't think he did anything to change anybody's mind. I did hear that Carroll, after the game, was talking about Geno. They asked him how he played, and he said, I think he played okay, which is not a ringing endorsement. Maybe there's something I'm just not seeing. Maybe my expectations for Geno are so low. I don't know, but I thought he played the way Geno plays, pretty much. Um, Chase Stern, I'd rather have Lock. Yeah, I would too, Chase. Jesse, great news about Lewis. I thought he was done for the year from social media when it happened. Me too, Jesse. Me too. I was done. I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, he's out for the year. I'm mentally moving on. I'm gonna, do whatever I have to do to get over it. It sucks, but I'm not gonna let it like, you know, upset me because I've already seen like to me it was a done deal. And to hear that he's okay, it almost feels like a win. It almost feels like we won a game. Oh yeah, one more positive from this game I do want to mention here. I know Kay Johnson did the stupid thing on special teams, and it was stupid. But as a receiver, I think he played a good game. I think his receiving prowess showed up, and even though maybe he ends up not being the guy to take returns, I'm still hoping that'll be Bo. I think he did play pretty well as a receiver. So there's one more positive, I guess. Yeah, I mean, look, if Geno's playing with Lockett and Metcalf the whole game, and he's actually getting his good passes caught, like that first drive, he hits a perfect post route to Freddie Swain. And Freddie Swain drops it. In the regular season, hopefully it's going to be Eskridge out there. Big Body Boy, thank you for the sub. Yeah, Big Body Boy, thank you for the subscription. We're very close to our monthly goal already. I maybe should have set it to 9,500, but I didn't want to get greedy. But I think we're going to easily set this goal. David M., both Geno and Locke are making the starts this season. It's just a matter of which games it will be. That's true. That's true. Very likely true. Chase Stern, thank you for the $2 super chat. Predict receivers that make the 53-man roster. Metcalf, Lockett, Eskridge, Goodwin. No, wait. No, not Goodwin. I'm going to say Goodwin doesn't make it because he's too injured. He needed to be playing right now, and he's not. Melton, Young, Cade. Something like that. Jesse Lund, seriously, Lewis being okay is 10x better than a win and Geno throwing 6 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but there is something about the way this team played today that is bigger than just preseason. Austin Roberts, tonight's performance made me think if we are full-blown tanking 3-14, it's one thing to get blown up by a good team with talent, but getting whipped because we aren't disciplined is bad. I don't think we're tanking. I don't think Carroll would do that. I don't think most people would do that. It's not in their nature. Maybe the team would quit on the coaches and just decide they don't care, but I need to see a lot more evidence of stuff like this before I start saying the team is the case there. Pretentious Cameron, can we please move off of Penny Hart? Yeah, he's another guy who needs to get out of here. Maybe he can be on the practice squad, but he's not good. He never does anything in a game that matters. I think there was that one game where he drew a penalty on Jalen Ramsey, and it was awesome. But other than that, what's it for? It's Jose, exactly what I'm saying. Our players aren't disciplined whatsoever. So many stupid penalties. Yeah, discipline. I it's something that can be fixed for sure, and it's better this happens now than happens later. But if this keeps happening, like I've talked before about how there's no way Pete gets fired this season no matter what because we're rebuilding. If the team plays like this all year, yeah, then meat's back on the menu, guys. Gudge Studios, how do you think Tariq played today compared to last week? Better. He didn't do anything noticeably bad. He didn't miss any really easy tackles. He was in coverage on a couple incomplete passes. I thought he did good. Aller Prod, when is the next wave of waivers? I know it's sometime early next week before the last game. That's all I know, but we're only going to be cutting 5 guys. I'm just hoping one of the guys we cut is Coleman, and another guy we cut is Dublanco. And maybe Freddie Swain, too. Let's just get this stuff. Pretentious Cameron, will penalty is ever be resolved? It's always been an issue under Pete. It's annoying. Honestly, it's been better lately. It was a big problem under, like, when we had, like, Michael Bennett, Richard Sherman, that era. But it was okay because we had so much talent. After we lost a lot of those guys, the penalties haven't been that bad. It's just they were bad tonight. Um, Random viewer, should we worry about Cross? No. It's a bad game, but it happened. It's his second game ever at home. It's his second game ever in the NFL. Excuse me. And it happens. It's a learning experience. It's Jose. I don't like Penny Hart either. He's just never done anything in a game that matters except draw one pass interference call on Jalen Ramsey. J-Dub Clips, thoughts of trading for Roquan Smith? I'm open to it, but it depends on a few things, right? It depends on what he wants for a contract. Depends on what the Bears want. It always depends on that stuff. Bradley Wong, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the sub. Austin Roberts, I'm hoping it's just a short week in preseason and they don't give a flip. I can take watching a bad team, but man, that was rough. Yeah, if the team is unwatchable like that all year, people will probably get fired. That's what it would take. But tonight you saw what could happen if things do not, at the very least, become watchable and competent. Like, because what I saw today was just like, as I'm obviously some of this is Carroll's fault, but as a coach, watching your team play like that has to be so deflating because it makes you wonder, like, what did I spend all that time in practice this week for if they're going to do this? Why did I bother spending all that time in practice doing hands drills and my receivers dropped 10 plus passes? Why did I spend all that time teaching Charles Cross how to, get up, get off on the snap, and then he's committing 4 false start penalties, Um, it's Jose. Thoughts on the defense play calling? I didn't notice a whole lot. I didn't notice a whole lot too exotic. I saw a little bit of blitzing, but I didn't see a whole lot of like the hybrid, and which is fine. I don't think we need to bust the fancy stuff out right now. But if we don't see the fancy stuff when the regular season starts, I'm going to be confused. King Bomber, you have really no 3-4 edge outside of Harris and Jefferson. You're banking on Puda Ford being good, which he might, and a bust in LJ Collier. Are you talking about linemen? Well, yeah, we know our defensive line is kind of not great. Miles Adams had a sack today, though. He might make this team. Miles Adams might push out LJ Collier. Roy Froelich, did I see Miles Adams tonight? I thought he was PUP. No, he got a sack tonight, I think. It's Jose. I feel like it's the same. I feel like they are both still Pete calling them. If Pete's doing defensive play calling, then we've been lied to. We've been lied to, and somebody needs to pay the price for that. Chase Stern, thank you for the $5 super chat. Who do you think was in charge of the offense tonight, Shane or Pete? Pete needs to stay the hell away from this offense right now. We need to figure out if what we have is any good or not. But you never know, right? You'll never know. Again, I have a really hard time getting mad at anything on offense except for the receivers. Like, we didn't even get deep into our playbook because receivers kept dropping passes. And I can kind of understand Bo and Derek dropping passes. They're rookies. What the hell is Freddie Swain doing dropping a perfect pass? He's Freddie Swain. He's been in the league 2 years. He's caught, 50 passes in his career? I can't remember the exact number. And yet, easy third down catch, and he biffs it. It's not just about that one play. It's about the 3 to 10 other plays you then get to run because that play worked. Massacre 019, Gino had his chance. He's a bona fide backup QB. I agree, but I'm not convinced. A lot of people are saying like, Drew Lock just won the starting job tonight even though he didn't play. I got to tell you, I'd like to believe it, but I don't. I need to see more. I don't believe that Carroll's going to be convinced. Dorian Scarlett, is Mafe okay? Yes. Mafe came back into the game. It's Jose. Darrell Taylor played decently, but still our D-line does need major help. Yeah, the line is not great. I think the linebackers are going to be good, except for we need another inside linebacker. But I like Taylor. I like Mafe. I like Nwosu well enough, I guess. And Brooks is good. And, that's one thing that I have to keep in mind watching this game. Brooks would be in on a lot of those tackles that got missed if he was in the game. Gudge Studios, Cody will be fine. He's a really solid linebacker, but he just needs to work on his tackling. I mean, tackling is a big part of what you do as a linebacker. If you're not good at tackling, you're probably not a good linebacker. So I don't think those two statements are very congruous. Baller prod. Eason is a bootleg lock. One pass, he throws a dime, but times he throws it out of bounds or overthrew by 80 yards. Or, 10 yards. Yeah. Yeah, which is exactly what I expected from him. He's got a big arm, but it doesn't mean anything, unfortunately. Most of the time, you don't know where the ball's going. Austin WK, is Waldron bad? I don't know. How can I judge him when the receivers can't catch passes and we've got 2 pretty bad quarterbacks? Okay. I don't know if they're bad, but they're certainly not good. Amy Holmes, Cross really struggled with the penalties when Lewis was out. Maybe that made a difference. I think he started getting penalties before Lewis went out, though. I can't really put it on that. Gudge Studios, what I'm saying, though, is our whole defense can't tackle. I know it's just the preseason, but this was not what I expected. Yeah, look, generally speaking, under Pete, we have been a great tackling team. We have been one of the best tackling teams in the league. So if Pete can't figure out a way to get these guys to tackle, then there's not much he can do. That's one of the things he can do, right? North Fresh Coast Media, should we get Jimmy G? No. You think Jimmy G would have looked any better than Gino in this game? Hell no. What's the damn difference? Joey Berardi, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the sub, good sir. Some of the subs do not show up on the stream, unfortunately. So let's see what the actual number is. Okay, it's 9,243, so very similar. Yeah, Steve Flood here does make a good point. Something that needs to be kept in mind here. Metcalf and Lockett basically didn't play. Penny did not play. Walker did not play. Damian Lewis missed most of the game because he came out. No Diggs, no Adams, no Burns, no Sidney Jones, like no Jordan Brooks while we're at it. Like keep things in perspective, people. J-Dub clips, Jimmy G proved he could win with help. Well, we don't have help. So, I mean, Geno Smith would probably win games with that Niners team. I'm not even kidding. Geno would probably look okay on that Niners team. Rex Grossman would look okay with that team. Daniel, I hope Geno is okay, but Damian Lewis is not good at left guard. He was a good right guard, but since being left guard, I would argue Phil Haynes is better anyway. Tell me I'm lying. Oh, I agree, but here's the thing. Damian Lewis was playing well so far at left guard. He seems like he's improved. I will say this, though. Early in this game, we ran a running back screen, and Damian Lewis didn't get out to make the block because he's not good in space. Like, that play probably wouldn't have gone that much further anyway, but that was a play where you needed the guard to get out there into space and throw a block, and he couldn't do it. And it makes sense why. He's 330 pounds. So, yeah, we are still having the same issues. Let's see here. It's Jose. If we traded for a D lineman, who do you think we should trade for? I don't really want to trade for anybody, Jose. I'm not even really thinking about that. Maybe Roquan, but I'm not that interested. We can draft D lineman next year. It's fine. Nothing. I'm not looking to trade for a bunch of pieces to salvage a couple wins this year. Jesse Lund, I don't like that everybody is going to make Geno the scapegoat for how bad our offense is when we have no idea how this offensive line will play together against top tier competition. No horsepower, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Very close to that sub goal now. Yeah, Jesse, I look, I would love Locke to be the starter this year. I'm way more interested in Locke than Geno, but I'm not understanding why people are saying that Geno played terrible today. Yeah, Geno has problems. But bottom line is, I don't think anybody's saying this stuff if these pricks could catch. HB, it won't be as easy to run on us with Big Al Woods and Q Jeff there too. And yeah, Jordan Brooks is the big one for me. Like, our inside linebackers without Brooks are terrible. Raven Evers, is Vi Jones the answer? He's probably better than Dublanco, but I'm not really thinking he's the answer to anything. Austin Roberts, I was happy when we signed Coleman, but he looks washed. Yes. Yeah, he's got nothing left. It's kind of like God, he's not the first time this has happened, right? Like, who was it? Marcus Trufant we signed 1 year. Um, I think we signed him, and then he ended up not really making the team. Let's see here. Mason Dial, not gonna lie, Mafe looks really raw. Yeah, I mean we knew that when we drafted him. I wasn't expecting him to have a dominant rookie year. I think he could have like 5 to 6 sacks, but I'm not expecting a ton. But that's fine. That's fine. I knew that when I was scouting him, and I still loved him. Steve Flood, Blair's tackling is off, or no one is wrapping up. They're all going for knockouts. I think Blair might just not be smart enough to play in the NFL. I think he can't be coached because, like, the helmet to helmet hit he had today, that's the stuff he was doing in college. And you know, people are spending time trying to coach it out of him, and they just can't do it. So I think he's just done. So honestly, at this point, I'm kind of ready to just cut him and let Josh Jones be the backup safety. Josh Jones played a pretty decent game today. Bubba Bolden, I think, did good stuff on special teams last week. Seahawks special teams was looking bad. Yeah, they were. I to me, special teams is all about discipline and doing your job. Stay in your lane, and things will be fine. We have a group of guys who just can't stay in their lane, and it's maddening because it should be a pretty simple process. All right, we've been going for about half an hour now, so we have 280 people in the stream right now. I want to give everyone a shout out. Thank you for coming out tonight. Please like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want daily Seahawks content. We are just a handful of subs short of the goal for the month of August. Let me make sure what the actual number is here real quick. It looks like we are 7 short. So 7 more subs and we get there. You can become a channel member by clicking the join button down below for $2 or $5 a month. We also have super chat goals for the stream and tip goals for the stream, as you can see over on my left. If you super chat or tip your comment in, it's guaranteed to be seen, read, and responded to by me. So that's one benefit you get from that. And we're going to keep the stream going for about another half hour to talk about this mess of a game. Aguilar 14, does this game imply that Drew Lock still has a chance to win the QB1 job? I think so. I think so. I like I said, I don't think Gino played bad in this game, but I don't really think he played good either. So I gotta believe the door is still open. I said it was Gino's job to lose. Well, maybe he lost it. I don't know. Look, maybe this is just a circumstance where there's just something going on with Gino that I didn't see. I saw a guy who threw one bad pass out of 18 and was let down by his teammates a lot. Mason Dial, why is Freddie Swain still returning punts? He brings almost nothing to the table with the ball in his hands. Yeah, I agree. We need to figure out if Bo Melton can do it. I'm hoping Bo Melton can do it. Um, I would have loved Cade Johnson to be the guy, but Cade probably not. Not after what he did today. Although, hey, Cade did good stuff as a receiver, so he'll find a way one way or the other. Austin Roberts, I was hoping Trufant would have been okay to make 2013 roster and gotten a ring, but 2012 he was completely washed. Skeleton out there. Well, he made a lot of money in the NFL, so don't feel too badly for him. It's Jose. Bo Melton dropped a couple passes too. Yeah. Yeah, he did. I mean, they are 7th-round rookies for a reason. But if they can find a way to contribute as rookies, then all the better. Baller Prod, that Arcega Whiteside drop was just sad, but some things seem to never change. Yeah, I had no expectations of him making this team anyway, so I don't really care about that. Carson Schroer, cross penalties, an easy fix. I don't know about easy, but it is something you need to fix, and it's something that I expect we will fix. Steve Flood, was Waldron calling a conservative game plan to get a look at the run blocking? Seemed really predictable. Maybe. I feel like the play calling is going to be kind of straightforward this season because of our quarterbacks more than anything, in a way. If that makes sense. Like, especially if it's Gino. Gino, I don't think is capable of doing complex stuff. Mm. It's Jose. I wonder if Whiteside went back to wide receiver, he would be better. I don't think anything can save him. Tackman, what's your expectations for Seattle's running game in 2022? I think it's going to be good. Even tonight, in what was a complete garbage game, the running game was fairly productive. And you can see that Travis Homer's come a long way. DJ Dallas played pretty good. And this was without our top two running backs. So, yeah. Valeric, Gino really isn't the quarterback to go all out. At least Locke goes for it. Better option. I agree. I agree. I would like to see Locke out there, and hopefully he plays well in this last preseason game, but I'm not convinced it's going to sway Carroll. And Dogzilla, thank you for the sub. Thank you for this sub. We are getting very close to this goal for August, guys. Hackman, I wonder if Seattle's going to pony up for Puna Ford. It's going to depend on how he plays this year. It depends on how he plays. If he transitions well in this 3-4, then maybe. But very good chance he doesn't. Maybe he's a 4-3 guy. Mason Dahl, outside of the false starts, Cross looked dominant against a legitimate pass rusher in Robert Quinn. That's what I'm saying, Mason. Cross committed a lot of penalties, and that's something he's got to work on. But as a blocker, I thought he played fine. I was actually really happy with the way he played. Paradise, Gino just doesn't have the accuracy or timing. I only really saw one inaccurate ball tonight. I mean, look, Gino's very limited, but it's not like Locke is great shakes either. So I'm just not convinced what happened tonight is going to change anyone's mind. Carson Schroer, with D-Lou out, do you think Haynes slots in at left or Jackson moves back to left? I think Haynes is going to slot in at left, which is fine because that's what he was when he came into the league. He was a left guard. Jesse Lund, what if we were to sign Odell Beckham and make Drew Lock look super good? That way we can trade him for a higher pick and get rid of Odell next year. Odell would probably get hurt again. He kind of gets hurt constantly now. So I wouldn't expect that to last long. It's Jose. Why do I feel like Pete likes players more off their loyalty and not their actual talent and production? That happens sometimes. All coaches can do that sometimes, though. It's not just a Carroll thing. Coaches get stubborn with the players that they think are better than other players when they're clearly not sometimes. Joey Berardi, thoughts on Daryl Taylor? I didn't see him a ton tonight. I saw him do a couple things. He looks like he's going to be a problem this year for sure. I'm excited, but didn't see a ton from him tonight. And that's fine. There are some players I wanted to see stuff out of this preseason, but he's not necessarily one of the ones I need to. Taekwondover, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the sub. So close, guys. So close. Voleric, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the subscription, buddy. Tackman, how did Nwosu do? I think he did great. I think he had like 4 or 5 QB pressures in this game. He didn't get sacks, and that is kind of a problem, but I think he basically created the sack that Adams got. So Nwosu brought his big boy pants. Anonymous, thank you for the $10 tip. All right, people are using the tip function. I got to get people onto that. Tips are a great way to support the channel, guys. They arrive faster, and the fee is much less than Super Chats. It's actually a great system that they've come up with. Really happy with it. Tackman, I'm excited for Noah Fant. I'm interested to see what he can do, too. We haven't seen a lot yet this preseason, But we heard good things during the mini camps, I remember. Ackman, I believe this will be Gabe Jackson's last year as a Seahawk. It needs to be. He's getting older. Next year we save a bunch of money if we move on. And look, I'm not. He didn't play as well as he did the first two games, but Phil Haynes is the real deal. Dehatel Fant has issues with drops too. He's basically Evan Ingram. I think he mostly had drop problems his rookie year. The other 2 years of his career, I think he's been much better. But here's the thing that I think some Seahawks fans need to understand. People are going to drop the ball sometimes. All right? People drop the ball sometimes. DK is going to have some drops. Lockett didn't have any drops last year, and the year previous he had 8. So sometimes stuff just happens. Some of you guys expect these players to be perfect all the time. It's not happening, but drops are going to happen. Prepare for it. It's Patagucci. Which receiver helped themselves out tonight? I think Young and KJ did well aside from the cursed punt. Yeah, Cade was our best receiver tonight on offense. The special teams thing was, yeah. I don't think I need to say anything more than that. It was bad, but as a receiver, I think he played very well. So, optimistic there. It's Jose. Fant has been hyped, but we haven't seen much of him, to be honest. So let's see, because I don't really trust Disley. He's going to get chances. He's going to get chances. Angel Santana, why was Geno good as a New York Jet and not good as a Seahawk? He was not good as a New York Jet. Whatever makes you think he was good as a New York Jet, he wasn't. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. He was not good as a New York Jet. Jackson Shore, someone check on Evan Hill. He is down bad right now. Look, Evan Hill is too emotional about this stuff. He gets too wrapped up in stuff, and he gets too caught up in his feelings about stuff. There's no helping him. I got nothing for that. Mason Dahl, I'm going to have to disagree with you about Taylor. If he doesn't win with speed, he's not getting to the quarterback. Really needs another move or two, and to this point, he hasn't shown it. High potential, though. I feel like he's shown it pretty good in camp from what I've been hearing. It's not just speed. But we'll see when the games start mattering. We're going to find out in a couple of weeks how far he's come. Tackman, West Virginia University hasn't had a QB since Geno left. Yeah, don't they have Slovis? Who's their quarterback this year? Is it Slovis? I think they have a semi-high-profile quarterback right now. Jackson Shore, where's the new defense? All I've seen is the same crap the last 5 years. Hopefully we're saving it. Hopefully we're saving it for the regular season. I'm not against it if that is what we're doing, but yeah, I kind of agree. So far, it really hasn't been that great. It's Jose Gudge. I know that, but we played him in game 1, and he really didn't show anything special. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's just a preseason game. We can worry about it when it starts showing up in games that actually matter. Oh, Slovis went to Pitt. Then who am I thinking of? I think West Virginia has somebody. Jackson Shore, you going to stream some Kentucky games this year for Will Levis? Maybe. Possibly. Possibly. I don't want to get too obsessed with one college quarterback, but there are definitely some that I'm really into. Levis is my number 1, but you've got guys like KJ Jefferson. I like CJ Stroud a little bit more than I thought I was going to. Hendon Hooker's interesting. Bunch of guys. Bunch of really interesting guys. Van Dyke, yeah. I'm going to give him a chance. I wasn't blown away by his tape, but he's going to have a lot of tape this year to break down. Anthony Richardson's interesting, yeah. Looks like a Lamar type. Wayne Keck, thank you for the sub. We are right on the precipice. Shade Apex, did this help Drew's case? A lot of people think it did. I'm not completely convinced, but I will say this. Geno didn't score any points, right? If you just look at the scoreboard, he didn't put up points. I don't think it was his fault, but maybe he falls on the axe for that. And if Drew Lock plays good against Dallas, it might be hard to keep him off the field. According to YouTube, by the way, we are one sub short. The tracker doesn't catch every sub. I think the person has to make their subs public in order for it to show up here. Jackson Shore, from what I've read, Hooker is an idiot and can't read cover 2. Yeah, hopefully those guys sort themselves out this year. Maybe DJ from Clemson. Yeah, Birdie shoots. I've heard about DJ not really being a pro prospect, but we'll find out this year. We'll find out. The Hawks family. Jacob Eason looked better than Geno Smith. We didn't start moving ball till he was off the field. To me, it's like a chicken or the egg thing. Like, yes, we didn't really move the ball well with Geno, but I got to put it on the receivers a lot here. Baller Prod, name 3 studs and duds from this game. Okay, studs. Studs are going to be Travis Homer, Uchenna Nwosu, and maybe Kobe Bryant. Maybe Josh Jones. Duds. Bo Melton. I guess Cross just for the penalties, even though I didn't think he played terrible overall, but the penalties are too big. And Dublanco. Maybe Blair is slots in there somewhere. Hawks family, you can say the same for Eason. Dude should definitely have had like 5-6 catches, and he still scored. Should have been twice. Oh, yeah, I agree. They both had to deal with a lot of drops. And both guys are not playing with the receivers that are going to be playing in the regular season probably. So we still haven't had a great look at what they're going to look like with their actual offense. Wayne Keck, no problem. Birdie shoots. Cross just needs to adjust. He was great last week. I think he was just trying to be little over cautious with stuff because he was playing against a guy like a Robert Quinn, who is a really, really good pass rusher. And that's understandable. But there are going to be other great pass rushers he plays this year. Tackman, do you still have hopes for Blair? No, I don't think he's coachable. He's still leading with his helmet. You know we've been trying to coach that out of him. But he can't do it. He can't do it. It's Jose. Thoughts on Tanner McKee? I don't really have thoughts yet, but he is on my list. I did have Tanner McKee on my list. Phoenix Hong, I don't even know what to expect from Myers this year, not that it matters much. I wish we were using this year to audition a new kicker, because we know Myers won't be here next year. Why not use the year to audition kickers and see if you can find something kind of like what we're doing at inside linebacker at next to Brooks this year? Mason Dahl, thoughts on the booing? Hey, those people pay good money to go to that game. If they're seeing a product that they find unwatchable, which, I mean, it was pretty unwatchable, then they're certainly within their right to boo. I mean, where would these guys be without the fans? Where would these guys be without us? We're paying all this money to go to these games, to buy food in the stadium, merchandise, parking. TV networks are paying all this money to broadcast games. Amazon is paying all this money to get NFL Sunday Ticket. NFL Red Zone's raking in the money. That's how these players make their millions. What if everybody in the world woke up one day and decided, football's boring. I'm not going to watch football anymore. What would these players be doing? Nothing. They'd be playing football for a couple $100 a week, like a barnstorming tour in front of the handful of people who would still be interested in it. Or they would find something else to do. And a lot of these guys, look, if they can't use their athletic ability to make a living, they're not going to be doing anything lucrative. So we make them their millions of dollars at the end of the day. This isn't the reason why these people make so much money is because what they do is entertaining. So if they're going to get booed because they're not being entertaining and they're not being successful, then okay. Or you sound like your dad overpaid players. No, I'm not saying the players are overpaid. I don't think that. The players are not overpaid. The players get paid because people want to watch them. That's why I'm okay with it. But I'm also saying what I'm trying to say here is that the fans matter. If you're not being entertained by what you're seeing, and you one day maybe decide, you know what, I don't want to watch this anymore, I don't think this is fun anymore, then, you're going to start then these players are suddenly going to have less money if a lot of people agree with you. SJM1341, thank you for the $20 super chat. Appreciate it. And we have hit our super chat goal for this stream. Wonderful. Seahawks so like the WNBA. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? At the end of the day, if the WNBA was getting watched by enough people, the players would make more money. Mr. IO1234, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the sub. And I believe we're there now. If not, we're like one off. I think the number's a little off. Hey, Brandon, then I sound like your dad. I think they're overpaid. I think, look, my position is you are worth whatever you can get paid. If somebody says, if a GM of a team says you're worth $20 million a year, then that's what you're worth. That's how this works. But the reason why he can say that is because people will watch you. They will pay to watch a product that you are part of. Well, Mason Dahl, how much do you expect the rookie tackles to play next week? Probably at least the first half. I mean, those guys need more experience. The more, the better. I don't think you can just take them out of the game after the first couple drives. Will McKinley, the more games I watch, the more I'm liking this rookie class. There's potential in a lot of them. Yeah, Will, but we got to be patient with them. There are going to be more nights like tonight where Mafe doesn't do that much and Cross has all the penalties and Lucas gives up a sack to a fourth stringer and Bo drops passes, Derek drops passes, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's going to happen. Seahawks, welcome to the Elite Member Club. All right, another Elite member. Welcome aboard, Seahawks. You can now use emojis in the chat. Jackson Shore, is the missed tackling going to be a problem, or with Adams, Diggs, and Brooks playing instead of bums, will it be fine? Well, people still have to remember, we're still not doing a lot of tackling during the week. So a lot of these players, they're tackling now for the first time since the season ended last year. So that is going to be a process to get to the point where you're tackling effectively. But the problem is, I didn't really see it get better. That's where I'm starting to go like, okay, second preseason game, we get one more after this one. It's got to start getting better. Revrai, who are some guys you'd like us to sign next offseason? The big one to watch for me is Quentin Nelson, and if not him, Elgton Jenkins. Left guards. Everyone else, I'm not too interested in anything else, but that one's pretty good. It's Jose. Thoughts on Jalen Carter, Mozzie Smith, and Siaka Ika? I know Jalen Carter. That's the only one I know, and he's good. Austin Roberts, is the Cowboys game at home or at Dallas? Dallas. It's at Dallas. Bob Stone, Drew Lock, 4 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, he played good in that game. I liked the way he played, and I'm really hoping he can play against this Cowboys team so we can get more of an idea of what he is. Tackman, Swain is only open on busted coverages. Have you noticed that? Yeah. He is the king of scoring on busted coverage. That is his thing. Mario, did Charles Cross do good in your book? There's no way you can do good in a game where you had 5 penalties. I think he was good in some areas, but I do not think you can say he was good. There's no way you can say he was good in a game where he commits 5 penalties by himself. AJ Bishop, do you get burned out watching bad football? How can you not? How can you not? By the way, we have hit our sub goal, so I'm going to update it manually. Okay. We have hit our sub goal for August. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Austin Roberts, no way. Colts let Quentin Nelson leave, no way. You're probably right, Austin. But what if this year goes really, really bad and they don't want to make a huge investment to a left guard? Seahawks, those penalties came at inopportune times. Yeah, very true. We had a couple of third downs converted, and then the penalty took it back. Aurora, hey, Brandon, trade Swain to Broncos. Russ likes him for draft picks. If you could trade him for a draft pick, then do it, but I don't think he's worth anything. Austin Roberts, oh, okay, 2 road games in preseason, so next year 2 home games. I think what they're doing is the teams that get 9 home games in the regular season get 1 preseason home game. Mario, I mean, he is a rookie. He got to learn now, and I'm glad it happened in preseason so he can learn more. I agree. Don't get me wrong. It was a good learning experience. I'm not here to dismiss that. But that doesn't mean he played well at all. BB Hong, at this point, I'm happy we even get to play our first round rookie. We have to be patient with him, and he should be good later. Danny D'Angelo, Eason threw the ball with poise and looked to have arm strength to cut Geno Smith, get Jimmy G. Eason does have arm strength. He does have a great arm, but it's everything else that the problem is. Revroy, what do you think Charles Cross's floor and ceiling is? I think his floor is an above average left tackle, and I think his ceiling is a top 5 one. I think he could be, you know, he could be on that, not quite Trent Williams level, but he could be on like the Orlando Brown level. No problem. Mario, I need to see more of Bo Melton. I want to see him return punts. I think his skill set is good for that. And he did it a little bit in college. Will McKinley Eason was such a bonehead at Washington. I'm happy to see he's getting better. I don't know how much better he's getting. DVN, you don't think more reps can fix Eason's accuracy? He hasn't got anywhere near close to the reps he got today, and he's still young. My thing with Eason is that I'm also a Huskies fan, so I watched him in college. I don't think he likes football that much. I think it's something that he's doing because he can make a little bit of money. I don't think he likes football that much. JG, would you trade for Aaron Rod? JG, what? What? It's time to end the stream when I start getting questions like that. Jackson, our friend Hawksnest is so disappointed in Geno. I agree with him. He had a chance to put this competition to rest and he crapped the bed. Give me Locke. He's at least fun to watch. Our stream this week is gonna be interesting because I'm not sure what Geno did that was so wrong. Tackman, you know Bo Melton brother play for Rutgers. His brother is a DB and is pretty good. I did hear about that. Yeah, Tackman. I did hear about that. Will McKinley, Chris Peterson repeatedly said how Eason's work ethic was really poor. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wrong, he didn't score. I'm not saying he played good or anything, but I don't know. Well, we'll see what comes out when we stream together. Do you think we should draft a left guard? And if so, which one? I really like Jack Nelson and Paris Johnson. I can't remember the names, but I think Oregon. No. I think Alabama has a really good one this year. I can't remember his name though. All right. Okay, I think it's about time to wrap this up. We're just a minute short of 10:30, so I'm going to get out of here at about 10:30. I'm going to go over to Twitch, so give me a few minutes and then I'll hop onto Twitch and we'll be doing some Serious Sam 2. I think Snacks is going to be there. Maybe we're going to do Power Wash. Thank you everybody for coming out. I'm going to do another stream tomorrow in the late afternoon to early evening. and we'll talk more about this game, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it here for now. Thank you for coming out.